Alrighty, hello everybody, this is Kirishima here. Now, whenever we last left off, we just had the events of, well, the heroes versus teachers, or the students versus teachers exam. And another thing. The reason why this is posted later on into the day is because I had to research something for later on in this, series. So, let's continue. Along with that, Deku and everyone, they are actually told that Kirishima will be going to Island. All Might, he's been told that David has invited the winner. Not just that, after hearing that you are actually from the Himalayan town, he does want to talk with some more of you. And, well, he's heard about the Kaminari's support tech, finding it a bit odd. He's seen the blueprints and a lot of things. So, he even does want to speak with, well, someone from inside the town, hoping that one of you will be able to help him with that. I do not believe he knows about the Space Marines, or the Adeptus Astaris at all. So, please keep this in mind whenever you do talk to him. Now, the Space Marines, they would have allowed Kirishima to go. Along with that, they actually decided to accept David Shields' invitation, telling David that they'll take their own private flight out there, and that it would be a bit tricky. However, things do get a bit odd. They would arrive at the island on the Space Marines ship, as you can call it. Basically, camouflaging it, or at least getting a plane from the Himalayas, and using that to get there. So, things would not be as odd. Until Melissa would come out to greet them all, greeting All Might and talking with him, along with actually meeting Kirishima. Her being surprised exactly this girl, well, in general. She's just as tall as her, and, well, has white hair. It's really interesting. Along with that, she does believe that the rest of Class 1A is here, right? Because she heard that Endeavor's son was here. Everyone's somewhat talking about this. Well, yeah, they'd be a bit, inquisitive, sorry I cannot talk, about why Class 1A is here, or why the rest of them are. Her basically explaining that David, her dad, thought it would be a good idea to extend the invitation just to everyone else, since you guys did do a lot and encountered a lot during the USJ. So he at least wants to give you guys a bit of this, or well, a gift. Them all understanding a bit better. Now, with that being said, All Might would explain to Melissa exactly what is going on, and who the man next to him is. He is a priest from that town, and he is actually considered to be one of their, leaders, as you can call it. Him not really specifying any form of title. Not mayor, not president, not anything like that. Just leaving it at priest. Now, All Might would then say that he does actually need to go back, though. He is sorry that this was a short greeting. Her basically trying to explain to All Might that he shouldn't leave yet. Her dad said that he had something for him, and that it is actually really important that he stays here. The priest just saying that if it's really important, then he can just give it to All Might whenever he heads back. It should not be all that complicated. Now, with that being said, Melissa would just think about this, and, well, think that that should be okay. All Might is busy after all, so that'll be fine. All Might basically stepping back onto the plane, saying that he is sorry that he cannot catch up right now, but he promises that he will swing by later to, well, see David and, well, talk properly. The plane basically taking off, everyone being left there, going through the island as if normal, and seeing everything around them. People actually looking at this group of, well, kids, or, well, teenagers, seeing similarities. Now, with that, everyone is going through and actually seeing the island. It's really cool, it's really interesting, and it's the only cork-themed amusement park that I believe is in or around Japan. So, they also do study odd things. Exactly why are they here then? Is this about All Might or something else? He's not really sure. Until he sees those, well, the battle test. How many robots can you take down within a certain amount of time? Deku actually was seeing as a large blast of ice comes from that direction. Him immediately walking that direction, as so does Kirishima and Bakugo. Quite a lot of people do. They would see exactly what has happened. Todoroki covered the entire area in ice, getting 7 seconds. So, he is just saying that that should be the best score. Until he does see these three walk up. Deku basically hopping over the railing, saying that he'll give it a shot next. Them telling Deku that he needs to properly get things signed in. And get his gear on, if he's going to do that here. Deku just saying that he should be fine. He always wears his gear, as he actually does spark with fire. The woman being surprised that this is Deku's actual quirk, considering that he is a behemoth. To which Deku's undershirt would just show. It basically covering itself with fire too. Deku getting ready, as the announcer would just say, go. Deku immediately just jumping off his foot, and lunging forwards, smashing into and screaming into a robot. Blasting fire in one direction as he lets out a sonic scream in the other, lunging around and throwing different objects. Within the span of 8 seconds, he would get the same time as Todoroki, feeling that he was actually a bit slow, saying that he could have beaten that time if he got a bit more serious. That was at least fun. The woman a bit surprised to hear this, along with the fact that Deku doesn't even sound tired. He's not panting, he's not exhausted, he's not showing any signs of it. So he must be serious. Baku actually walking up, and proceeding to, well, go at it too. He would be blasting through and actually making his way, as he does get a couple seconds. He gets about, I want to say, 7 seconds, so tying closer to Todoroki. Kirishima walking up, saying that this should be fun. Now, before she can begin, she would hear some of her friends cheering her on. Momo, Shinsho, and Mineta, telling her that she needs to get more serious if she's going to beat their score, and to crank herself up more. Her actually somewhat listening. Alrighty guys, sorry about that. I had to pause it because there was a bunch of stuff going on in the background. Anyways, Kirishima would be ready, as she turns up full cowling, up to around 70%, and waits for the woman to say go. As soon as she hears, well, not the woman, as soon as she hears the horn blare, she would immediately just jump off, surprising everyone with the shockwave she produces. As she immediately just starts basically climbing up the cliff as if nothing, punching through and smashing through the robots, taking the ones down up there and, well, beating Todoroki, clearing the obstacle in about 4 seconds, surprising quite a lot of people. Along with Deku just looking at Bakugo. The smirk somewhat getting off Bakugo's face as Todoroki gets more annoyed. Clearly, he's not the best. So, still, he needs to figure this out. Now, with that being said, Todoroki would just walk off. A bit pissed off, actually, since he keeps losing to these people. So, exactly what is going on with that? Now, this is whenever, well, Melissa, she would walk over to Kirishima and ask her exactly how was she able to do that, and if she can control all of her power. Because from what she can tell, she was almost, well, I think you were at All Might's speed, right? No, actually, I'm not. Her, someone just trying to explain it. She was only going at about 70%. If she goes any higher than that, she might actually hurt her body more. Since, well, she's still trying to get used to his quirk, and work out more and more to try and help it. Now, Melissa would just tell her that that should be okay. She's been trying to help design a prototype, so it should be perfectly fine. You should be able to go at 100% with this. Kirishima actually a bit surprised, along with Midoriya. Her actually asking if, well, she's ever gone to 100% before. Her just explaining that she has and has actually broken her arm. It was not fun. In fact, it was actually quite risky. She's gone to 100% whenever she first got the quirk, whenever she tried to, well, use it in Heroes vs. Villains, then she froze during the USJ. She felt kind of bad for it, but she was able to at least help people around her. The Nomu thing and Midoriya were her main concern. Along with that, trying to at least regroup her allies, and her someone just pausing when she was about to say Chaos Marines. The majority of her, well, mind space was spent in with them, trying to at least keep people out of their sight, since they would probably have been shot. A lot of things were happening then, and as she's thinking back on it, it was a shit show. Her basically just explained that she's broke her arm 3 times. Melissa's just telling her that that should be fixed then, as long as you don't go overboard with this. Now, with that being said, they would all be brought to David. Him actually being a bit bummed out that, well, All Might's not with them. Him wanting to see his old friend after quite a long time. Along with the priest. The dude is massive. He actually almost mistook him for All Might for a second. Although the white hair basically just stopped him from doing so. Now, with that being said, David would be trying to explain this piece of technology after handing it over to Kirishima. Him just explaining that this is, well, he's not sure what to name it, but it will at least help you do 100% and use your quirk easier. As he actually just asks them questions about technology and other things, along with the fact that the strange fruit that Nezu has sent him information on. Then basically giving him the cover story, along with the priest actually explaining certain things to him. Asking the man why exactly was he so worried about All Might being here. David somewhat is asking these two to walk out of the room, along with his daughter. This is a very, very, very sensitive topic, and he's not sure if it would be a good one. So, as he would sit down and take a deep breath, saying that he's been working on something to help All Might. He is quite aware that one for all, he's losing power fast. If he continues to do so, he may not be able to fight All for One. The priest looking a bit confused. David realizing that this man has no idea what's going on. Somewhat trying to backtrack. The man just telling him to go on. He does not need the full story. David explaining to him that he was creating a device to do so. He actually had it in, well, prototype phases, and he may have just gotten it working. However, it violates a certain law, and, well, the tech is illegal. The priest is saying that, so he's trying to help his friend, but he doesn't want to break the law to do so. David is saying that it's not just that. He's trying to find certain workarounds and permits in order to make it legal. But even then, that just takes away the power from it. You're basically just walking around with a metal ball. Just saying that he was hoping that they might have something to help him with this. Because if they do, then he will award them greatly. Money is not a concern. He would gladly spend millions if it meant to help his friend and prevent Night Eye's David just stopping. He knows about Night Eye's prediction. Night Eye has talked to him before. In fact, it's part of the reason why he even started this project. So, the Space Marine would just sit down, telling David that he does not need to worry. All Might will be perfectly fine. In fact, I have sisters back in my town. They are currently taking samples of All Might's DNA, along with actually getting him prepped for a surgery. We are going to be finding out what organs he has lost, and replacing them, putting them back into his body and hoping that this will work. In fact, it is quite simply, well, since you told me a secret, I will tell you mine. The Space Marine began to somewhat explain things, trying to keep it out slow, before he basically just goes into a full-on rant about it. David asking a lot of questions, along with him saying that he actually has seen one of these things when he traveled around the world, and was wondering about it. The man basically just showing a symbol that David finds to be matching the one he's, well, seen. Him being completely in shock, finding out the truth about the world. So, that's crazy. Now, David, he kind of wants to get things a bit more sorted out. So what he would do is, the party is going to begin in a couple of hours. Or, well, roughly 2 to 3. So he should have plenty of time to, well, destroying the quirk tech is going to be a bit harder, so he should at least, it should be fine. I can handle it the next day. Or, well, tomorrow. Him just giving confidence in the priest, saying thank you. The priest is telling him that it will all be fine. In fact, if All Might does need help, the Adeptus Astaris can step in. Now, with that being said, back over with everyone else. They are all somewhat enjoying their time around the island, and having quite a bit of fun. Until they do go to the ball. Deku, he is actually not sure what to wear. So, well, he just wears what someone packed in his bags. A giant... what is it? I would make a joke saying a giant suit so I can call him Big Green. But that joke is... well, I'm going to save it for something else. I probably just wasted it, but who cares? Anyways, he would wear a giant blue, or let's say black suit, actually. And he would see Kirishima. Whenever she does come running up. She is wearing a red dress. Along with that, with her white hair, it actually does look very nice. Deku actually giving her a compliment on it. Everyone's somewhat being ready, and, well, Melissa just saying that things should be okay. The events will be perfectly fine, so I guess we should go, well, enjoy the party. Her being a bit, well, happy about this. Along with that, her dad has actually told her that he, well, doesn't really need to give the technology or the thing to All Might anymore. In fact, things will be a lot better today. He's gotten the best news he's ever heard in his life. along with actually getting that big deal with this other tech company. Basically, Space Marines will at least divulge a little bit of their technology to David in order for him to help them if they do need it. Since they already do have some corporations like the Yagirozus and other companies in other countries helping them, since they've been around for a lot longer than they should have been. And having another ally, especially the world-renowned David Shield, will be good for them too. So, Kirishima and Deku would be dancing, and actually enjoying the party. While you have Bakugo, who basically got stuck into it, and pulled into it, by Ibarra. Ibarra is having a bit of fun, but Bakugo just has this weird look on his face. He keeps scanning the room and looking for anyone. Basically keeping up that military mindset, that he needs to make sure that there are no threats around. So, that is a bit tricky. Now, along with that, him and her would actually be talking for a minute. As Ibarra, she gets the question why she didn't participate in the whole, tech thing, or the whole mech thing, with destroying shit. Her basically just giving the explanation that if she participated, she would have quite simply destroyed a lot of things, and it would not have turned out very well. Bakugo just giving her a shit-eating grin, telling her that she didn't participate because she was scared. Not just that, her score would have been too low, right? Her someone just getting annoyed. Now, Bakugo would just say that he understands that her quirk, she likes to prefer to burrow underground with her hair. Sometimes she'll use it directly, but that's just it. Thinking about it, your hair would take too long to get to your opponents. So your score would have been over a minute, if I'm doing the math right. Ibarra somewhat just, realizing Bakugo knows her, and has actually seen through her little facade. With her, the way she said things. Anyways, now, along with that, you also do have another couple dancing, or people at least. You have Mina and Mineta dancing, as she's actually asking more and more questions about his quirk, and how he's able to use things, and do things with his slime. Him trying to explain the best he can. Shinsho, he's, just sitting down at a table, trying to enjoy the party, but still at least finding this to be a bit annoying. He could be at home sleeping, but he basically got dragged out here by Mineta. Jesus. Now, with that being said, this is whenever things start to go wrong. People immediately make their presence known, as Jiro and Momo somewhat jump up from the table. Momo immediately going to create firearms. The men rushing in as they go to actually shoot at one of them. As soon as they begin to shoot into the group of people, trying to capture them with this elastic tape, Deku would have thrown a sonic scream, flying it back at them and actually latching up quite a lot of them. As he rushes in, Momo immediately doing the same along with Kirishima, her turning on one for all as they begin to actually take down and destroy quite a lot of these people. The building going into lockdown. Everyone's confused. They are under attack. Along with that, this is whenever things are getting trickier and trickier. Deku is not sure where the priest is, but he must know already that things are going bad, so he will at least be here soon for backup. Now, this is whenever Deku would turn to Melissa and ask exactly what is going on in this building, and what happened. Her just saying that she's not sure. They're being attacked by villains though. So they're after something her dad built, clearly. Deku just thinking about it. They must be after the thing Kirishima has that David built her, or Melissa. He's not really sure which one did it, so things are going to get trickier right now. As a man will walk in. 3 of them, in fact. They are the men that were told to secure the floors on the higher levels of the building. However, they are quite aware of these kids for the sports festival. So, they were only aware that one of them were coming. Even then, she was able to beat a multi-quirk wonder. So, all of them here makes this bad. Them beginning to actually open fire, and begin to use their quirks. Deku basically ordering everyone in class to try and help civilians get out, or at least to protect them. Him running forwards and encountering the purple guy. There's a joke to be made there. Anyways, after encountering the purple guy, he would immediately begin by having a strength battle with him. Immediately overpowering him as he was able to bend back his hands and actually break them. The guy saw him beginning to scream, Kirishima running in and socking him with an uppercut at 100%, with this strange device. This actually means that she blew him away. The force actually being quite a lot. Her arm isn't broken though, so she'll be able to hold up to this for now. Although the thing does seem a bit messed up. Her actually asking Melissa about this. Melissa just saying that, well, it's still a prototype, so things will be okay. But one crack shouldn't break it. Now, everyone will begin to make their way through. Deku and Kirishima forcing their way through with Melissa. As the other 2 villains that try and fight are left there with Bakugo, half and half, and the rest of their team. Shinsho actually stepping forwards with Mineta. Mineta can be used as a wall. He can take a lot of damage and dish it back. Shinsho, if he wants to, he can use his brainwashing. Him trying to use his quirk. One of the men answering the question. Meaning they got brainwashed. Beginning to fight against their own ally. As Shinsho stays here. Along with 2 other people. In case more villains do try and show up. Now, with that being said, Deku and Melissa would have made their way to the, robot bridge. Deku just immediately seeing as Kirishima hardens her body. Except for her right arm. If she hardens it, she might break this thing. So, that's the trick here. Now, as soon as she does so, she would run in, using her left arm and throwing around about 50%. This place isn't as stable as it seems, so let's actually say that she throws around 25, just in case. Deku running in and immediately igniting with fire and screaming. Grabbing a robot and basically using it as a battering ram, smashing his entire way through. Melissa running in as Deku basically swings around and smashes the robots off the bridge. Them all heading in to the elevator, or I believe to another staircase. Now, with that being said, they would eventually get to the point where they would have encountered those villains. That area is actually, cleared out, and, actually filled up with henchmen. Basically people with guns. They would tear through them immediately. Anyways, eventually let us get up to about David Shield's lab, where he is being forced to open the vault with All Might's miracle tech, or the tech he thought could help All Might. Now, with that being said, David would open it, and, be found by his daughter, Deku, and Kirishima. Bakugo and everyone else hot on their tail. As the man basically uses David as a human shield, telling him not to come any closer. The hero has done a good job, but, he knows how this goes, right? Deku just clarifying, he's not a hero. The man confused, then remembering Deku. He saw him from the sports festival. This is that multi-quirk guy, right? No, this is annoying then. Quite the predicament. If he gets his hands on that tech then, he might be unstoppable. The man basically having events go to similar to canon, where the butler hands things over to the guy, and he basically uses David as a shield, shooting him. Along with that, he actually runs off to the top of the, building. Deku wouldn't have given chase, but he would at least use his fire to basically cauterize the wounds, then taking off after him. Now, with that said, he would eventually get to the top of the roof, as the man's in the helicopter and started taking off. Deku actually getting ready, getting into a running start and immediately running forwards, jumping upwards into the air, grabbing onto the side of the helicopter and holding onto it. Actually beginning to try and swing it, and get it uneven so it has to land. Kirishima actually throwing out Black Whip and grabbing onto Deku's legs, as she hardens her legs and smashes them into the ground, beginning to actually hold onto Deku as she pulls him in. The helicopter, it's not budging, and it is actually beginning to take off a bit more, or try harder. The pilot basically being told not to land. If he does so, he'll be shot. Him basically trying to swing the helicopter around and get Deku off, along with the guy actually trying to unload clips into Deku. Deku basically using his left arm to bring it up in front of his face, to block it. Now, with that being said, this is whenever the Space Marine would come in. He is currently outside the building, but he sees the events going on with the helicopter swinging around, zooming in with a scope, or at least using his enhanced vision, and shooting into the helicopter. He hits somebody in the cockpit, or at least something important, so the fuselage. He hits a part of it that will at least break it open. Especially with a monster can-sized hole in it, things aren't going to be very easy for him, so he'd have to be forced to land. As soon as that happens, David basically gets onto the top of the roof, seeing what's going on. The man putting on the quirk tech as soon as Deku gets to him. The man basically swinging Deku away, as he begins to go crazy with it, and lift things up off of the building and around him. Now, with that being said, Kirishima, she decides to do something that might be a bit crazy, hardening her body and turning herself up to 100%. David watching as she rushes in, along with Deku. Bakugo basically blasting his way onto the roof and going in too. Momo basically just staying there with heavy bolters as she begins to fire on things, along with actually creating RPGs and cannons. Anything she can use that's heavy and packs quite a lot of firepower. Along with that, Ochako, she's actually going in too, trying to at least keep the debris off the ground. While Kaminari, he's trying to throw 1,000,000 volts at the guy. Mineta trying to at least help by corroding things and making weak points for them to exploit. Now, Kirishima would run in as she's trying to get close to the guy. Her and Deku basically going in. Deku trying to keep up with her. She is too fast. Now, with that being said, eventually Deku would have to smash through a wall, smashing through it and tearing it into pieces and grabbing onto both sides. Rushing in, he would immediately jump over the next one and throw it forwards, smashing it directly into the guy, and basically bringing something up to smack at Kirishima. Deku throwing another one as he lunges forwards, and screams. The shockwave throwing this one off balance. It's bringing its giant thing down and smashing onto itself. Deku grabbing at it and holding it, as he begins to try and tear it out. He just keeps pulling and pulling and pulling. This is not working. Kirishima doing one thing, lunging her hand out forward with Black Whip, as she's able to grab this thing off the guy's head, and she runs forwards, pulling herself to him and smashing him across the face as hard as she can. with 100%. As soon as that happens, a large explosion occurs, everyone being sent flying away. Deku, he's trying to recover in midair, and it's actually not really working. Along with that, he has something stuck in his chest. So, that's not good. Now, eventually Deku would hit the ground and recover, along with everyone else. Then basically finding out what David did, creating illegal quirk tech, and well, the fact that he went against this law. So, he will be prosecuted for it. The priest basically trying to explain that the man confessed to him about it, and planned on destroying it the next day. So he should not be held accountable. He made it, but he did not use it. Someone else did. So there should at least be some way to lessen his time. Now, the authorities wouldn't really want to believe him, but well, they would at least consider something, and talk to the judge and the jury. So, with that being said, that would conclude the Island events. Along with that, this whole tech thing was destroyed. That sucks. Anyways, now, everyone will be heading back to the mainland, as they are getting ready for, well, their field trip. Anyways, I do hope you guys enjoyed this video and have an amazing day. If this was longer than I thought, then well, this will take a minute to edit.